Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. I'm excited. Got a fun program planned for today. On the program, we're going to be visiting with, from National Geographic Channel, Charlie Griffin, captain and owner of Reels of Fortune, and he's on Wicked Tuna, Outer Banks, and it premieres this Sunday, the 19th of July. So, going to be visiting with Charlie coming up later in the program. So it's Fridays with Charlie, but it's a different Charlie. So
there you go.
Also, take a listen to this. Bern, Switzerland. They're hoping to keep men from using parking spaces reserved for women by painting them pink and adding flowers. So they have parking spaces.
Why are there parking spaces reserved for women?
Because over there, they're saying, you know what, wouldn't it be polite to let the ladies have the best spots? So, guys, come on. You
Where
park
is this?
In Bern, Switzerland. They're saying, let the ladies have better spots. Here you go. And I've seen them in our country where they'll have expectant mother parking, but there are guys that park in these things. They're like, whatever, you can walk. I don't care. So they're saying, well, let's paint them pink and put flowers on them. If you want to park there, good luck to you. All right. Thank you so much for listening on a Friday morning. It's the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
A few engineering students from Cranfield University in England have created the ultimate boy toy. It's a full-size, remote-controlled Hummer H3. Full size. Took the students about a month to convert a $78,000 vehicle into an oversized child's toy. Dr. John Brighton, who the mastermind of the project, said, everybody will be amazed by the handling ability. The best any radio-controlled vehicle has ever had to date.
Really?
So they're driving a full-sized Hummer H3.
That's fascinating.
By remote control. So I don't exactly know why they needed to do that.
I can't imagine that it would work. You would think it wouldn't.
No.
That it would be awfully hard to.
No, they say maneuvering it. It's all computerized, so I can understand how that would work. But can you imagine?
Well, you know it doesn't run on double A's. What are they operating that thing
with? It's
with?
probably running on fuel. Like you start it up and it's all gas powered, I'm guessing. I don't know. But it's controlled by a radio.
That is crazy.
Radio-controlled Hummer H3. Coming up, we got a story about a little old lady that just gave her car away. It's an interesting story, and it's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVWheelator.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVWheelator.com.
You need a new car? Maybe just head to Columbus, Ohio, and find a sweet little old lady. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Take a listen to this. Adam Brooks of Columbus, Ohio, and an elderly woman were involved in one of the most cordial robberies ever. Brooks' theft of a 76-year-old woman's car involved many questions and many helpful answers. Adam told her that he didn't want to hurt her. He just wanted her car. He even asked if she needed to take any medication. He took her car keys and headed to the garage to take her car, only to come back into the house and ask, "Where's the garage door opener?"
Oh my gosh.
She then obliged, and he left. Then he came back and said, "The garage is not opening." She told him, "Well, the button sometimes sticks, and you have to push it really hard." Then he left again, and you guessed it, he came back again, and he said, I only know how to drive a stick shift." She said, "All you have to do is put an automatic transmission into reverse or drive." Then he was gone for good. Brooks has still been charged with delinquency counts of aggravated robbery and kidnapping, even though she said he was a nice young man.
Oh, my gosh.
So he robbed her. He stole her car, and she was just sweet about it. She's like, "Oh, yeah, well, you got to push the button. It sticks once in a while." "Oh, yeah,
Poor
well,
little
it's
thing.
pretty simple. You just put it in reverse, and then you put it in drive." So, and she was really nice about it. So apparently if you need a car, just head over there, and she'll give you one. So, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio, right? Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. We also have your moment of duh and the scoop of the day. And before the program is done, we've got a special guest. Going to be visiting with Charlie Griffin, captain and owner of Reels of Fortune. And he's on Wicked Tuna, Outer Banks. Premieres this Sunday on National Geographic Channel. Going to be visiting with him, chatting about this. I've not had a chance to see this program, so I'm going to be visiting with him to find out a little more about it. But I clicked on the videos on the internet, and it looks like a fascinating show if you're into that kind of thing. They go fishing, and you get to watch it. But it's more than just sitting on the beach like I go fishing and don't catch anything. They do some awesome fishing. And we'll be chatting with Charlie Griffin later on the program. Thank you so much for joining us today on The John and Heidi Show.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Not even an FBI agent is totally immune from acting like an idiot when his brain's on drugs. FBI agent Robert Clymer was arrested for DUI in Las Vegas.
Oh.
He was found to have a blood alcohol content of .306, nearly 4 times the legal limit. This was after he was pulled from a burning wreckage of a 2004 Chevrolet Silverado, which had jumped the curb and began to smoke and caught fire after it was determined the engine had been running for a long time. Police found an empty 25-ounce bottle of rum on the passenger seat. A 9mm pistol was tucked in the cab. He was hospitalized due to complications from smoke inhalation and intoxication. During sentencing, his lawyer said the client wanted to take responsibility for his actions, and that statement is truly bizarre because responsibility apparently has different meaning to different people. Clymer's now turning around and suing General Motors for product liability because there was something wrong with the car that caused this.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Or the fact
Lord.
that he was completely smashed when he had the accident. So, interesting stuff. And that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Time now for the moment of duh. Have you ever done, when you were in school, did you ever have a school project that you just thought was silly and stupid?
Every single school project I ever had.
I was counting on you answering that way. And not all school projects are good ideas, even if they're assigned by a teacher. A high school in Arlington, Texas, had art students dress up in camouflage and carry rifles as a reenactment of the Vietnam War. Unfortunately, they planned the project for September 11th, prompting a call to the police and a total lockdown of their school. This all happened about a year ago. Nice work, guys.
Yeah.
So,
that wasn't very well thought out.
Yeah. They're like, hey, I got this idea. We're going to do this reenactment of Vietnam. Everybody's going to dress like military folk. Going to hand you fake rifles, and we're going to walk around the school
on September 11th.
without telling anybody what we're up to.
Yeah, that was not a good
Nothing
idea.
could possibly go wrong with this plan. There you go. That is not a good idea. Coming up, I do have a good idea. We're going to get to our scoop of the day for this Friday, and that is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. A Florida man accidentally shot himself during a gun safety class. Yeah, shot himself right in the ego. Well, it was actually along his leg. It grazed his leg. But can you imagine?
I've heard of that happening, though.
That is bad.
It's a good thing he was taking the gun safety course because he clearly needed it.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. At least he wasn't teaching it because I think that has happened
That's
too.
happened too, where the teacher has done it, yeah.
North Korea has announced that they have created a miracle vaccine that can treat Ebola, HIV, a number of cancers, and MERS. The country did not provide any proof that they actually have this. They're just saying, hey, we got a thing that cures everything. No, really, we do. And our supreme leader is, he's not human. What are all the rumors that they say? That he's like the best golfer in the world. He's the best. It's North Korea.
Oh, yeah.
Are you even with me today?
Not really.
What are you doing over there? Climbers who reached today. I noticed. Climbers who reach the summit of Mount Fuji will now be able to share their achievement with free Wi-Fi. A Japanese mobile phone network says they're going to begin offering Wi-Fi service today at 8 hotspots in Japan's most famous mountain, including the summit at 12,389 feet. So you can get up there and do a selfie and share it with the world.
Huh.
Yeah. Ariana Grande, am I even saying her name right?
I don't know, but
I'm not
I know
a big
who you're
fan
talking
after what
about.
happened. She's not going to be charged for licking the donuts on the 4th of July, according to TMZ. So
charged what? The 38 cents per donut?
I don't know. They were going to charge her with something. Anyway, Wolfie Donuts says they're not pressing charges or whatever. She's not going to get charged with that. But that's where she was when she was saying, I hate America and I hate Americans. And it hasn't worked out so hot for her.
No.
Since then, I know there are a lot of radio stations that don't play her music.
I have a feeling she's going to start to go in the direction of the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah, I kind of got a feeling, too, that maybe she'll realize that biting the
Yeah.
hand that feeds you is not such a good idea.
Exactly.
Or licking the donuts that feed you is not a good, well, maybe that's a bad analogy. Hey, a recent study links watching a lot of television to an early grave. Uh-oh. According to the report, the study in Spain followed more than 13,000 adults. It found that those who watch 3 or more hours of television a day are twice as likely to die. Wait a minute. We all die eventually. So apparently it means twice as likely to die early? I don't know. FBI stats show that many more people are killed on a regular basis with hammers and with clubs than with rifles. So pretty soon we're going to have people out there banning hammers and clubs. Probably not. In a survey by the group Cats Protection, 75% of cat owners over the age of 55 said they sometimes prefer to share their feelings with their cat rather than their spouse or their friends. So they're telling their cat, I'm really happy. I'm really sad. And their husband's like, what was that? I wasn't talking to you. Talking to Fluffy.
I wasn't talking
Get
to
out of
you.
here. Don't talk to me. It says 81% of kids 13 and under say they would rather talk to their cat about their feelings than their parents. Among owners 20 to 40, 60% said they put up their cat's bad breath, but not with their spouse's bad breath. Nearly half get a better night's sleep with their cat in bed than with their spouse in bed. And 55% would tolerate their cat hogging the covers, but not their spouse hogging the covers. So there you go. People love their cats, Heidi. Heidi's a dog person.
I am very definitely a dog person.
She's
That's why
allergic
I've been
to
kind of
cats.
Quiet.
I know,
I
but I give you a pass because on this, it's not your fault. You are allergic to cats.
But that's not the only reason I don't like cats.
I just gave you the pass that you needed. So why don't you take that pass?
They're rude and ungrateful.
You talking about
Cats.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me for a minute there. All right, census figures show that, again, she's only saying that because she's allergic to cats. Census figures show that a near record level of U.S. Counties are dying. That is, they're experiencing more deaths in their county than they are births in their county. About 1 in 4 counties, or roughly 760, are fading away in the United States. So there are people that are, moving away or dying, and there are not enough births in there to replace them. All right, time for our strange law. An old state law in Alabama says no person can sleep all night in a barber shop.
Oh.
Don't know why. If you get in those comfy chairs, you just want to take a nap. But it's illegal in the state of Alabama to...
Maybe they had a barber that was just living in his...
Yeah, can't sleep there all night. All right, that's going to do it for your scoop of the day. Thank you so much for joining us on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
We've been chatting about it all morning, and now we're finally here. We have Charlie Griffin from Wicked Tuna, Outer Banks, premiering this Sunday on the National Geographic Channel. And Griff, welcome to the program. How are you today?
Doing fine.
This is a big weekend for you guys with the premiere coming up on Sunday. So what kind of fun things are in store for the Wicked Tuna Outer Banks program?
I think it'll be. I think it'll be really entertaining. There's going to be some good fishing. There'll be some picking going on. There'll also be some really rough conditions for people who don't get a chance to go out and get after the fish. It'll be entertaining for them to see how we do it.
So, Griff, you're a fisherman. How long have you been doing that?
Well, pretty much all my life. I started as a young boy here on the Outer Banks, and have been fortunate enough to be able to make a living doing it. And it's not a lot of money, but it's enough to get us by, and we love what we do. So hopefully that'll show through on the show.
Now, this is the premiere of Wicked Tuna Outer Banks on Sunday, but there was North versus South in the past. Are some of the same people coming back for this season as well?
2 of the captains that are on this show were on the show last year. Myself and another young lady were brought in this year.
Nice.
For the North Carolina crew. We also had some of the northern boats come down this year, and it was pretty entertaining. It was a lot of fun.
So even though you weren't on the program last year, did you watch it? Were you a fan?
Yes, sir, definitely. Yes, sir.
So that's got to be a pretty cool feeling when you watched it last year, now knowing this year, hey, I'm going to be a part of that show.
Well, we were out there fishing along with the guys last year while they were doing their taping, and it's something when asked to do it. We were proud to jump right on and get in with the gang doing it. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of excitement. This year we had a lot of bad weather. We had some just rough seas. The inlet was a challenge. It should make for some entertaining television.
Visiting with Charlie Griffin from Wicked Tuna, Outer Banks. It premieres this Sunday. Are you still filming, or when do you actually film the show?
Well, actually, the fishing, our season, unlike the northern season, ours goes from about the first of the year through the end of March.
Okay.
So, yes, we did all of our taping during our season. Then they'll show that. I think it'll be 10 episodes, I believe, is what it'll be. Maybe 11. That'll be our season. And we caught fish right up until the very end. So it should make for an action-packed season. Looking forward to seeing it. I've not seen anything, so I'm curious to see what it all is going to look like myself.
So when it's all done and they splice it all together, you just hope that it works out really well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I know they've got a world of footage to go from. I mean, we did a lot of fishing. There was a lot of action, and looking forward to seeing it. The guys up north are actually getting ready to start their season right now. I would not be surprised if they don't start their season here in the next few days.
Again, visiting with Captain Charlie Griffin from Wicked Tuna, Outer Banks. It premieres this Sunday on the National Geographic Channel. Tune in Sunday night at 9, 8 Central and watch the premiere episode. Now, when you think about this, Charlie, 20 years ago, if you would have told somebody that, hey, there's going to be a TV show about guys fishing, they would have thought you were crazy. But last season of the North versus South did very well on National Geographic Channel. You guys have this new show. Isn't it just amazing where we've come with entertainment these days?
Yes, sir. I look forward to seeing it myself. It's a lot of action, and the fishing, we're catching giant fish, literally giant fish, 300 to 600 pound fish. So.
Wow.
It should be very interesting.
So what is the biggest fish we're going to see on the program? Can we talk about that, or is that still top secret?
No. You got to wait for that.
Got to wait and see what you reel in.
Yep, we catch some big ones, I promise.
Well, I'm going to set my DVR to record this, and I'm going to encourage other people to do it as well. It's the National Geographic Channel. Tune in Sunday night, 9, 8 Central, for a new program called Wicked Tuna, Outer Banks. It's on the National Geographic Channel. Check local listings and find that. Going to be a real fun program. And again, we've been visiting with Captain Charlie Griffin from the show. Charlie, thanks for taking time to chat.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you on the show. Again, folks, check it out. It's called Wicked Tuna, Outer Banks. It premieres on the National Geographic Channel this Sunday, 9, 8 Central. Check your local listings to find that channel wherever you happen to be. And we appreciate you tuning in to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
This is Griff from the National Geographic Channel show Wicked Tuna, and you're listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Today's a very special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 17th day of July. Today would have been my dad's birthday, by the way.
Oh.
Happy birthday in heaven, Papa. It is also Celebration of the Horse Day, National Hot Dog Day. Ooh, I like hot dogs. Wasn't it National Hot Dog Day the other day, too?
I think maybe every day is National Hot Dog Day.
Got that on 7 different calendars. Nelson Mandela International Day, National Caviar Day, Toss Away the Could-Haves and Should-Haves Day, and Woody Wagon Day. So today's a special
day.
Load up some hot dogs in your Woody Wagon.
Do you
and
like
go have some
caviar?
caviar? I've only had it one time, and I don't know that the stuff that I had was really, expensive or good, but it was really salty, and I was
it's just salt. You could just eat a fistful of salt and it'd be a lot cheaper.
It wasn't really my thing. And I know there are people that say, oh, that's a delicacy. Like, well, then you guys can have that.
Yeah.
I've noticed the more expensive a meal is, the less I like it. I have very cheap taste. So that's why I was excited about Hot Dog Day. All right, today is a special day. Get out there and celebrate on this Friday, the 17th day of July.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
Can rodents catch undercover operatives, Heidi? Well, the British thought so during the Cold War. Listen to this. Among the Cold War intelligence ideas of the mid-'70s, intelligence being, relative term here, M15 or MI5 agencies from Britain, they had a proposal to station gerbils at airport terminal gates in the hopes that they would exercise their ability to detect passengers who were unusually sweaty. in that such they were disproportionately likely to be spies entering Britain. M15s, or however you say that, My-5s, I don't know, Director General during the time, Stephen Lander, speaking at an intelligence agency conference, said the idea was abandoned when the agency realized that a lot of people who go up in airplanes are sweaty, so this plan didn't work out so hot. So the gerbils would be going, he's sweaty. Oh, he's sweaty too. And he must also be a spy. Everybody's sweaty. My question is, how would they get the gerbils to point these people out in the first place? And why have gerbils do it? If they're going to do it, why not just have a guy sitting at the gate? If you want to have the guy dressed like a gerbil, I guess that would be weird, but I don't know. So I've heard of moles before, but never gerbils doing their due diligence. So can you imagine that? If you had a gerbil that was a spy? Like a gerbil spy? Why don't we have a movie about this? I have a feeling by the end of the year there'll be one.
A spin-off of Ratatouille?
I have a feeling there will be a movie about this. This is new news. It just came out. It's from the 1970s, but there will be a movie starring Eddie Murphy and Brendan Fraser and a gerbil. They kind of gave up on real movies and started doing nothing but kid movies. So we'll see. What would you call that?
I have no idea. That is a ridiculous concept. The whole thing is a ridiculous concept.
It's a true story. I'm just reading what I'm reading. So coming up here in a moment, we've got a couple other fun stories to share with you. Thank you so much for joining us on a Friday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Tiger? Imagine a tiger knocking on your door to fix your computer. It happens regularly in a town in California. Computer repairman Dennis Avner of Gatay, California, could be the most extreme variation of a furry. You know those guys that dress up like animals?
That animal. Yeah.
Well, he's a tiger stripe. He has tiger stripe tattoos covering his body. He has dental implants with pointy teeth.
Ew.
He resembles a tiger teeth. He has metal stud implants around his mouth to hold his long plastic whiskers.
Oh my god.
He's also had his ears and lips surgically enhanced to make his head look more cat-like. And he wears special contact lenses to make his eyes look like cat eyes. But alas, he told the San Diego Union Tribune that folks in the area are most tolerant of him. He's nonetheless decided to relocate to Washington State. And he's a computer repairman. So he must be self-employed. I can't imagine.
Well, absolutely.
Can you imagine walking into a computer store and like, is there somebody to help me? Meow. Grr. I can. Is there a human here to help me? You guy's dressed up like a tiger.
Wow.
All right. Well, there you go.
Whatever.
Thank you.
To each his own, I suppose.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that I don't personally feel like dressing up like a tiger. And with that, we'll move on. Thank you for joining us on a Friday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
Good news for dieters with a sweet tooth. Hey, I'm already smiling. If you want a sweet treat for breakfast, you can actually help you lose some pounds and help them stay off longer. Scientists found 200 non-diabetic obese adults were randomly assigned to eat one of two low-calorie diets. Both diets had the same number of daily calories, but one included a large breakfast with sweet treats like a donut, while the other allowed for a larger meal later in the day. Researchers from Tel Aviv University said those who consumed the carbohydrate and protein-rich 600-calorie breakfast were more successful at sticking to their diets. And
haven't they done that test many, many, many times? I mean, I knew this.
Well,
but who has time to eat a giant breakfast?
Halfway through the 8-month study, participants in both groups had lost an average of 33 pounds per person. But they're saying that the ones that were doing the one where they had a bigger breakfast with a little sweet treat included, they did better. So I guess the moral of this story is have a nice breakfast with a little sweet treat, and maybe you'll lose a little more weight.
And then behave yourself the rest of the day.
Yeah, something like that. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Thank you so much for listening on a Friday. For those of you who maybe are new to the program, if you were just maybe catching us for the first time or you're kind of new, I want to make sure you understand this before I get to this story. This beautiful woman that sits next to me every day is married to me. We've been married for 15 and a half years.
Yes.
So we've known each other for that long, and we've been married for a while. And I have now for you, your pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, the most common things men do to annoy women. This is from Men's Health. Now, I just want to make sure I put that out there so people understand, before we go through this, that we have a different relationship than, some radio programs. There's just two people. They don't even know each other. Some of them don't even like each other, but they got to work together. Oh, it's true. I used to work with people that I'm not going to say that I didn't like them, but we weren't best of friends. So it's a completely different thing. We got pretty good synergy here. Yeah. You can finish my...
sentences.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say coffee, but you go with that. Okay, face it, ladies. As much as you love us, sometimes we guys do things that really annoy you. Many times we have no idea what sets you off either. Here's a few of the most common things men do to annoy women, according to Men's Health magazine. Hopefully they asked ladies, because I'm not sure why Men's Health would know what upsets women. Here we go. Number 1 on the list, not picking up after ourselves.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that drives me crazy.
Just the other day, we had somebody coming over and she's like, which shoes are you wearing today? I'm like, what? She goes, we got your shoes and socks and stuff laying all over. I'm like, I'll wear those.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Another one. Asking how much your new haircut or handbag costs. So like, oh, that looks really nice. How much did that cost? And you're like, I don't really feel like telling you.
You don't do that. You don't even notice when I get a haircut or
you got a haircut the other day. You look good. Looks really nice. Talking to you like you're one of the guys. So that annoys women? Does that annoy you when I talk to you like you're one of the guys?
You don't talk to me like I'm one of the guys.
I don't?
I don't think you know how to talk like guys.
So did you catch the game the other day? I'm like, what, Scrabble? What game? What are you talking about? Oh, football. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. All right, talking about the future vaguely, where you're kind of just going, we'll figure something out in the future. Another one, we try to stop impressing you. That annoys women. And the last thing on the list of most common things that men do to annoy women, asking you out on a date through text messages. I don't really do that either.
No, you don't ask me out on a date at all.
Well, 2 reasons. Mainly because I don't know how to use text messages very well. When I do it, I usually mess it up. And because I don't ask you out on dates. We're on a date we're on a date right now. Every single day of our lives is a date.
No.
Okay,
nice try.
Not quite like that. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
Every once in a while, we talk about dumb laws and dumb lawsuits. Well, dumb lawsuits are not a new thing. How often do we get to tell you about stupid lawsuits that are brought on by a judge? Here's one of those, Only in America stories. It takes place, it's not only in America. It takes place in Essen, Germany.
Oh.
Judge Hans-Josef Brinkmann is suing the Coca-Cola company because he claims that it's their fault that he got diabetes. The judge apparently drank 2 bottles of Coca-Cola per day for years and says the company is partially responsible for his condition, that they had not warned him that the sugar content of the drink could have a side effect on his health.
Oh my gosh, duh.
I guess he never looked at the ingredients. The only ingredient of Coca-Cola that's more than sugar is carbonated water. Judge Brinkmann wants $4,600 in damages and his medical expenses. Also at fault for his diabetes are the manufacturers of Mars bars, Snickers, and Milky Way, according to his lawsuit.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Sorry, buddy. Good luck with that.
You know, we think about dumb lawsuits like that being an American thing, but that's happening in Germany. But we do have some here that are just ridiculous.
They're awful.
We read them from time to time, and it makes Heidi, like, violently mad.
I get so angry.
I know. You like throwing things around the studio. I'm like, you almost clipped me with that paper there, lady. Don't take it out on me that guy got sued. But no, we have some dumb lawsuits. So I think it's interesting to know that at least we're not the only ones. That happened in Germany. So it's weird to me that he's asking for $4,600. What a random amount.
I know. That's all his life
gonna,
is worth, apparently.
I'm just saying, if you're going to sue somebody because you have diabetes, you're going, how much do you want? What's going to set you for life? Well, I'd be set for life with $4,600, maybe. Could I bump it up to 47?
And we can settle out of court for 15 and a
case of Coca-Cola.
pallet of Snickers.
He's suing Coca-Cola, Mars bars, Snickers, and Milky Way for his diabetes. So there you go. That is a good way to kick things off for the weekend. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us on the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more about those good guys at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. And I've had people asking me what my fabulous idea was because I was telling you I had this idea. Here's my idea. You tell me if it's a good idea. I haven't reached out to Dollar Shave Club yet. Tell me if you think it's a good idea.
All right.
Toothbrushes. They should have that available where I can get a toothbrush through the Dollar Shave Club.
But toothbrushes are like
Doesn't
$1.
matter. So what? So if I click on there for an extra $1, maybe every couple of months I'll get a new toothbrush? Because when do you think about needing a new toothbrush? Usually while you're standing in your bathroom, shoveling that thing back and forth. You're going, I should get a new one of these days. I don't know how mine show up magically every once in a while I get a new one.
You know what they should offer?
What's that?
Batteries for your smoke detector.
I was talking about our smoke detectors were going off. And it's funny because I said, what did I say? I'll get those right away tomorrow morning.
I'll do that tomorrow.
2 days ago. We're laying in bed. Beep. Like, wow. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that, didn't I? Well, I'll do that right away tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyway, they don't do batteries. They don't do toothbrushes. But I'll tell you what, they're pretty darn good at razors. You want to get one of those? Go to dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to let you choose. I got 2 stories to share, or we can talk about the gas prices that are going up and the best cities to be a driver and the worst cities to be a driver this summer.
You choose. I don't care. You pick one.
I'll do this one. Maybe we'll do them all. We'll see. With gas prices going up and Americans collectively spending about $124 billion in wasted time and fuel stuck in traffic, the good folks at Wallet Hub decided to take an in-depth look at the 2015 best and worst cities to be a driver. So these places have the least amount of traffic jams. And then this other side has the most amount of traffic jams. Where do you want to start? Best drivers or worst?
Best.
All right, best. Number 10 on the list is Raleigh, North Carolina, then Winston-Salem, North Carolina, then Colorado Springs, Durham, North Carolina, Reno, Nevada. Now we're up to number 5, Tucson, Arizona. 4, Greensboro, North Carolina. 3 is Lincoln, Nebraska. 2 is Corpus Christi, Texas. And the number 1 place to be a driver where you don't have to worry about traffic at all, you get right through at Lubbock, Texas. No waiting.
Sounds like North Carolina is the place to be.
Yeah, they got a lot of them on the list. Now let's talk about the other list. 21 key metrics that they use to figure all this stuff out. The worst cities to be a driver. Number 91 on the list, which I would have thought would have been number 100, is Los Angeles. I have been to Los Angeles. I remember calling you from a rental car, and you said, so where are you? And I was like, I'm on my way to Ventura. I'm on the Ventura Boulevard thing here. And you're like, you're driving? I'm like, yeah. Well, you can't be on the phone while you're driving. I'm like, Heidi, I've been sitting still for like 15 minutes. We haven't moved. So they're number 91. So if that's 91, imagine what 92 is. Baltimore. They must really have terrible driving there. Chicago, Illinois is 93, then Boston, then Newark, New Jersey, then Detroit. Number 97, San Francisco. Number 98, Philadelphia, PA. Number 99, Washington, D.C. And who do you think is number 1?
I don't know.
Or number 100, I guess. The worst place to be a driver? I've been there as well. New York City. I did not drive when I was there.
You know what I'm noticing is overwhelmingly all of the worst places to drive are blue states.
Yeah. What about the best places to drive?
Most of them are red.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Nice
Interestingly enough,
nice
that
comparison there. Well, the average annual hours in traffic is 6 times higher in Washington than it is in Bakersfield. The rate of car thefts is 27 times higher in Detroit than it is in Irvine, California. The number of auto repair shops per 100,000 residents is higher in Orlando than it is in Boston, 12 times higher. Average gas price in LA is twice as high as Tucson. The average parking rate for a parking space is 14 times more expensive in New York than it is in Greensboro, North Carolina. So there you go. If you're looking for a place to drive this summer, keep that list in mind. And I'm going to save these stories for Monday, just because you look like you're about ready to fall asleep over there. You've been pounding coffee.
I am just exhausted today.
You went out last night and had way too much fun.
I had a lot of fun last night. I'm not like hungover or anything. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I didn't go to bed till midnight, which was way past my bedtime.
It was almost 1 by the time you got to bed.
Was it?
Yeah, because we were up. I was watching stuff when you got home. You said, "Oh, you waited up for me," and I was like, "Yeah, I did. I waited up."
You
and
heard
you're
the
like,
garage door.
You said you fell asleep on the sofa and you woke up when you heard me coming home. I was like,
Yep.
One of those two. Yeah, it was that one. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on a Friday edition of the John and Heidi Show. We appreciate you joining us on this podcast. Tell your friends, if you have friends, let them know about it. I'm just saying, I use that clarifier because if you're listening to this show, chances are you don't have friends. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. We appreciate everybody that listens. And a little self-deprecating humor is always fun. We do appreciate you joining us, though. And if you would like to learn more about our sponsor for the bonus break, go to dollarshaveclub.com/radio.